Hi. I know these last couple of videos I've been talking about a lot of stuff and just like the mysteries, okay, that he's trying to teach us and trying to show us. Wants us to open our eyes and our ears. You know, I'm not going to get back on the Matthew thing, but you know, it was really funny because I was getting ready to talk about something else. Then I opened up Luke, okay? I went to Luke 21. I went to Luke 21, and I saw the signs of the end of the age, right? The disciples were asking him. You know, Matthew, Mark, and Luke all talk about, you know, the same things, but they're a little bit different. They're different clues in each one. Didn't realize that. So I started studying it. And looking for specific things. When I had different eyes looking at it, okay? Not reading it the same way I had done in the past. When I looked at this with a whole new set of eyes, I'm telling you, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Talk about breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs. But, he says, you know, he talks about that, you know, you're going to be betrayed by your family. You know, they're going to turn on you left and right. Of course, that's what they're doing. But he says, you know, the part in, this is in Luke 21:10, he says, you know, the nation will rise against nation, a kingdom against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes, famines, pestilence in various places. And fearful events and great signs of heaven. But before all this, they will lay hands on you and persecute you. Well, you know, that's going everywhere, and that will continue to get worse, right? It will continue to get worse. Again, let me just say this right out here too. I'm a pre-tribber, okay? I have always believed that the bride goes, church goes, then the 7-year tribulation starts, right? It's just the same as all of us. Excuse me. In the videos when I talk about if we're mid-trib, I'm saying if we're mid-trib, because of everybody's insisting on, you know, the one that we all think who it is. He's already been on the scene. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying then is if we're mid-trib, then that would be the order of things. Okay. Now, and if he's not, okay, then we're in the beginning of the 7 years. It's going to start, okay, which is okay because we're gone either way, all right? I just want to clarify that. Those things are still going to happen, but they're, you know, still going to happen. But it doesn't matter to me either way, okay? But see, there's still the witnesses, you know, so the witnesses haven't gone in. And the witnesses go first part of the trib, right? So, and the bride announces the witnesses. So, you know, unless that the years are cut short, because he's releasing things to us now. So, who knows? Who knows? You know, so far it's 7 years as we've always thought. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was a whole 7 years. But I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, But Luke, so anyway, he's talking about being brought before kings and, you know, rulers and going to prison for loving and believing in him, which all the persecution all around the world, right? This will, he says, this will result in your bearing witness to them, but make up your mind not to worry, but make up your mind not to worry beforehand how you will defend yourselves. For I will give you words and wisdom that none of your adversaries will be able to resist or contradict. You will be betrayed by even parents, brothers, relatives, and friends. And they will put some of you to death. You know, but you see how it started, you know. all that has already has started. Now, you know, when in the tribulation, the great trib, you know, they're going to turn on everybody, right? So if they're still here, they're going to turn on everybody. They don't care if your family fell. It's going to be like, you know, remember the Holocaust. Everybody turned on everybody. Everybody did, you know, just to save themselves. So, anyway, but it says, all men will hate you because of me. But, this is what I'm going to, but not a hair on your head will perish. Not a hair on your head will perish. By standing firm, you will gain life. What have we been talking about? Not a hair on your head, and, you know, standing firm in your concrete footing, you know. And when you see Jerusalem being surrounded by the armies, you know that that its desolation is near. Then he talks about, let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let those in the city get out. Get out. And let those in the country not enter the city. See? Something's in the city. It's gas in the city. But this is talking what Matthew 24 is in Luke right here. And it says, again, for this is the time of punishment. Okay, remember I talked about Matthew 24, about when it says don't go back into your house for anything. He's telling everybody to flee to the wilderness. And I said that it's a pattern of judgment, okay, against Israel. It's a pattern of judgment from King David, because patterns repeat itself. Okay, well, what Matthew didn't elaborate on, Luke talks more about it, okay? So, and that's what he says. For this is the time of punishment in fulfillment of all that has been written. Of all that's been written. And that is Luke 21:22. So, and this says, how dreadful in those days it is for a pregnant woman, women or nursing mothers. There will be great distress in the land and wrath against this people. See? Oh, against this people. All right? They will fall by the sword and will be taken as prisoners to all the nations. Jerusalem will be trampled on by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. Okay. See? You know, that's not at the end. That right there correlates with Matthew. And so that picks up, that tells you what Matthew doesn't. Okay? Till the times of the Gentiles been fulfilled. And Jerusalem will be trampled. All right? There will be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars. On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. Men will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world. What is coming on the world? See? What is coming on the world? It just makes so much more sense now. For heavenly bodies will be shaken. At that time they will see the Son of Man in the cloud with power and great glory. When these things begin to take place, stand up and lift your heads, because your redemption draweth nigh. Okay? Again, you know, I tell you the truth, this generation shall not pass away till all these things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words, you know, will never pass away. He's talking to, be careful with your hearts, that they're not weighed down with dissipation, drunkenness, and anxieties of life. All right? And the day and that day will close on you unexpectedly like a trap, because your eyes aren't him. You're turning left and turning right. Do you see what he's preparing us for? That's why he keeps telling us these things. So we have our eyes on him, so we know. So we know step by step. We'll know close up his children, his bride. You'll know. The Spirit will be put on you. First of all, you have Spirit of peace upon you, but you'll know. You're going to feel it almost next to. We're going to know. We're going to know within just very short time when it is. We're going to feel it. We're going to have that Spirit upon us. He says, for it will come upon all those who live on the face of the earth. But you can't be anxious. You can't, because when you do that, your focus is off of him, and you can't be ready, you know. So always be on the watch. Pray that you may be able to escape all that is about to happen, and that you may be able to stand before the Son of Man. So, and then that takes me to so many people are so worried that they're not doing enough. Okay, yes, you have to give glory and praise him every day, all day, but it's in your everyday. You know, I talk to him like he's my best friend all day long. I go to him about everything. You know, and if I see something, I'll say, oh, thank you, Jesus. That was just so, I just love that. You made that, blah, blah, blah. You know, or I might say a quick prayer here and there, and all through the day. Again, that doesn't mean that you have to be, you know, on the floor in your room or wherever all day long and have to give up. No, he knows what we have to live in this world. He knows this, okay? He knows it. So, that's how you do it. He's every day, you know, in your life. You have to do everything that's pleasing to him. You do. And then so many people are worried that they're not getting the word out enough. They're not doing enough for him, okay? Again, I said this. It's the littlest things that matter. That here on earth we might not even think about that it was anything. But it's big points in heaven. The littlest, bittiest thing, okay? Little, you know, I said this when I first started doing these videos. I covered all this. It's that nice hello. How are you? Are you, you know, to the lonely, you know, widow in the grocery store, or whatever. It's all your kind acts. It's all your goodness. Everything's recorded. It's all your goodness, okay, that walks ahead of you into heaven. It's your storehouses, right? It's your storehouses. Our faith and the grace of God, it takes us to our home in heaven, right? It's not our works. It's nothing we do, but it's what we do, our works and our deeds, that gets our rewards. It gets our treasures in heaven. Okay, because not everybody's going to have the same thing. It's what you did for his word and his glory. But don't think, because we always have a habit of degrading ourselves, or lowering what our abilities are when it comes to God and his kingdom. Okay, don't, because I'm telling you, what you don't even know, those little things that add up. I mean, that he takes count of, and it's so pleasing, because he knows we're all different. Okay, he knows we're all different. So don't think that because what you think you're doing for him isn't as good as what somebody else is doing. Don't think that at all. You know, again, it's the kindness. It's really truly is the kindness and the goodness, okay? But what you do is you store your rewards up there. You know, I can't remember where it is in the Bible, what chapter, but he talks about, you know, don't want to be naked up there. Well, I started thinking about that and thinking, well, I guess somebody who believes and really, you know, weren't bad people or nothing, and love the Lord, but they didn't do anything, you know, at all. I mean, to be standing up there naked, you'd have to not do anything at all, right? But there are going to be people that go that don't have very many treasures at all, because they didn't do anything, nothing, nothing. Okay? You know, you have to understand, every day you're searching for him right there. I mean, that's huge, huge. You're so far ahead of the game, because the other ones who have been doing stuff for him his whole life, their whole life, and then go to church and stuff, they're not waiting for him at all. They're sleeping right through it, okay? But here, maybe you don't have as many deeds on your belt as they do, but you're waiting for him. You're just every day, See? What's going to be more pleasing to him? I'm telling you. Don't, we all do different things. And just because today, as of today, you've not done the things that you in your heart think that you need to do or want to do, okay? Because it's you beating yourself up. That doesn't mean what's going to happen tomorrow or next week. Just like that, it changes. Just like that, changes. Okay? So it's in the grocery store line. It's wherever you are, and what you do. So that's our storehouses. That's our treasures up there. And so everything we do, we fill our storehouses for eternity up there. Okay? It's a good thing. It's a really good thing. So it's all going to be waiting. All going to be waiting. Don't worry about that stuff, please. Do and go to him and just talk to him and give him everything. And as I said, it's your quality of your prayers that he looks for. It's your quantity of them. Okay? It's your quality. What good is praying all day long if there's no quality in it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't worry, we gotta pray every day, but and we all pray multiple times a day. But you in the car, that was my biggest time and it still is in the car. When I'm in the car, I'm praying and talking to him all the time. If you work to and from work, there you go, your prayer time to and from. Probably most all people do that. That's their quiet time. That's their time alone with him. That's their prayer time, is to and from work in the car. Okay? So don't knock yourself on that. That's what I did all the time. You're doing it though. You know what I'm saying? And then it's our thought process through the day that we have to keep our eyes on him. That's what he's talking about. But you can everything good. So when you get up there, can you imagine what's going to be in your treasures? Wow. It's going to be good. It's going to be good stuff. So don't worry. Don't worry about that. It's, again, it's the quality. He wants to hear from your heart. He wants you to give it all to him. Okay? It's those quality of it. What are you saying? What are you laying out? What are you giving? What is your heart into it? That's what it's about. It's not the quantity of your prayers. It's the quality of your prayers. All right. So and quit listening to other people that you think. I don't know. We all do that. I don't know why we do that though. We look at somebody and think, oh, they must be really holy, or oh boy, they must be really. We don't know those people. I mean, I'm talking about people on TV. Okay, I'm talking about people on TV. We found out a lot of them not so holy. And there's people in church. There's people at church. Can I tell you this real quick? I'll tell you this real quick. Having consignment stores like I did, right? You have a lot of the same customers that come in, every week. I used to have these women to church every Sunday, right? So every week they'd come in for a new outfit, go to church in, new suit, dress, whatever. Big thing, all dressed up. Well, one, she'd come in, she'd get a, a Coach bag that was, carried maybe 5 times, brand new, right? But what is she doing? She's walking around the store with this bag on, right? And she's like, I can't forget this, because she's like, oh no, I got to put it on this arm, because when I walk at church, when I walk down that aisle, so and so is going to be sitting right here, and I want her to see my purse. It's all for show. It's all for show. I'll never forget that. Never forget that. And really? And I said, oh, is that what your Sundays are? She goes, oh, yes. She goes, don't think they're not. She said, oh, yeah. They just try to outdo each other. Okay? Just try to outdo each other. These are the people that you're looking at, and you're thinking that they're better than you. Really? They're not better than you. Not better than you. You just don't know behind the scenes. You just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So, I'm not saying they're not sweet people. I'm not saying that at all. Yeah, they are, but it's a yeah, every week, years this went on, years. The whole thing was every Friday or Saturday you're coming in getting a Sunday outfit. So, and then again, a lot of, I'll tell you what, Jesus really has pulled a lot of people out of their churches. Okay, really has. I mean, there's just very few really good ones that feed you. I just couldn't find any that fed me. They weren't feeding me. They were giving me fluff. They're so worried about the growth. They're so worried about, let's get somebody in, let's get this in, let's get that whole media thing going, and the whole. I'm sitting there and they're going, yeah, but what about me? I want to hear this. Okay, I don't want to hear that. I don't care about that. I want to hear that. What are you going to do for me there? You're going to feed me, I wasn't getting anything. Yeah. I got the whole rock band music going and the whole thing, and everybody's jamming. You got your coffee, because everybody's got a coffee house now, so you got your, coffee thing there, and you got all your treats and stuff you can take inside and eat. And I wasn't getting fed. And a lot of people aren't getting fed. So, oh, you don't even know how many people. They're not going anymore, but they're studying all day long. You know what I mean? They're studying all day long, and they're learning more now than they were there. I'm not saying pull out of your church. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying across the board again. So many people, he's pulled them out of their churches, out of their churches. Reason for that? I mean, there's so many. I can't tell you. Can't even tell you. So, but some of you may have wonderful ones. Lucky for you. Lucky for you. If you've got somebody that teaches you everything. I personally, I love Steve Hadley from Family Fellowship, Harvest Family Fellowship. Is that right? Steve Hadley, Harvest Family Fellowship. Just a minister, preacher from, I think it's in Nevada, and started posting his Sunday messages. And I mean, he's like my twin, only guy twin, but I mean, he knows way more than I do. But I love him. I love he's just down to earth. I love his expressions. He's just, he is what he is. But he teaches everything to that congregation. He's not afraid to talk about anything. Talks about the whole, rapture. I mean, but he talks about what's going on in the world. There's an update of everything. I mean, everything. He pulls it all in. And that church, they're right on top of everything. And I'm telling you, I have to give him applause, because I think that's phenomenal. And I like him. I learned from him too. I found him probably, I don't know, 2008 maybe. 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. And there's archived messages too, in his video messages, but they go back. But I love him personally. I love him. People might not agree, but I do. So, and so guess what? Sunday morning, I'll flip him on and watch him on the computer, and I get so much more than I get from any of my churches. And I want some nice churches, but they're just too worried about, see, they got too many open doors in there. Okay, they have too many that's not supposed to be there. Okay, and all the churches do, all of them. I'm sorry, but they do. You got them ones in there that's trying to pull out what needs to be talked about. The attention of the church is moving. They can't focus on the main messages because they got so much going. It's competition. There's so much competition now because they're mega churches. They're mega churches. Can't be a mega church if you're not mega. Okay? Can't be a mega church if you don't have a zillion people in there. You know what I mean? So what are they constantly wanting? Those zillion people to come in. So, and until that happens, and until that church gets there, the people that are already there, you just got to sit there and listen to the fluff, because fluff gets them in the doors. But I'm sorry. I want the, you know, the meat and potatoes. So, if you're in a church, then you're sitting there, you know, being fed the fluff, you know, because they're waiting for, you know, more to come in to get that mega standing. But meantime, what are you learning? What are you learning? Because you're not going to offend anybody, so they're gonna give you fluff. I don't want any fluff. So anyway, I turn on Hadley. I love him. Just love him. So, but in tithing, okay, it's another thing. Tithing. You know what? You know what tithing is too? You know what tithing is? Some of you can't, you can't financially afford. You know what? You know what I did? I would give other things, okay? I would give anything I had because I didn't have money to give. So I'd give my time. I'd give something I had, clothes or whatever, you know, I'd make curtains for them, or I'd do something for them. Tithing, okay? Tithing. It's not just money. It's not just money to that. So people are having a really hard time with that. They're thinking that they're not, you know. Tithing is, and if you don't want to give to a church, oh my gosh, give to a family, or give to, you know, we already did a video on this too, way back then. Tithing is a variety of things, not just to the church, okay, not just to the church. So those whose income isn't where it was, and you can't do that, okay, but don't beat yourself up about it. You tithe in other ways, okay? When you give, you know, you're tithing. It's just not money. It's just not all about the money, okay? It's about that heart too. So, you know, it's a giving in other ways, okay? Giving in other ways. That's what it is too. I know a lot of people won't agree on that, but that's a firm thought with me. That's a firm belief with me. And again, people need people, okay? And right now, a lot of people need somebody. They need somebody. They need somebody to talk to. They're lonely, you know? Reach out to them, people. Reach out to them. Didn't you ever see somebody and you just know they're lonely? You see that on their face, and you know they just want so bad somebody to reach out and talk to them. You see them. Every time you go out the door, I don't care where you go, you'll see somebody like that. You can see them wanting to talk to you, or they want to talk to somebody. But you know, everybody ignores them. Everybody ignores them. Right? Some time of day. So lonely. So lonely. Again, the elderly people. Do you understand what they eat? On a fixed income. I know what that's like. But they don't want to cook, right? They live by themselves. They don't cook anymore. If you like grilled cheese, and usually it's toasted cheese with, you know, Kraft singles on it. You know, maybe some lunch meat, but very simple foods. Not any cooked foods, not any, you know, homemade meals. Okay, unbelievable. My eyes were open to that a couple years ago. I didn't think about it. I didn't realize it. They live by themselves, and a lot of them don't drive anymore, so they have to take that shuttle once a week. Okay, that's how they get to the doctor. That's how they get around. And if they're not feeling good on that Thursday, you know, I think it's like every 2 weeks, right? Or I don't. Some are once a week, but some might be every 2 weeks. Well, if they're not feeling good, they don't get out, because that's how they get to go to the grocery store and everything. Some people have nobody. They have nobody, not one person in this world to do anything for them. Who goes to the grocery store? Who goes to the store for them? Who goes to the store for them? No, they don't go. Don't go. Don't go. It brings tears because I think about my little Joni, who I met, didn't even know her. You know, here she was 80, you know, something years old. It's me. I'm the one who ends up taking her to the hospital and putting her in a nursing home, and was there at the end when she died. This woman was a total stranger in my life. She had nobody. I mean, right off the bat, we're best friends because I'm going to the store for her, and I'm the one she can call for anything. And that's when I realized how many more are like her. How many more are like my little Joni? You know, I didn't even know. So, yeah, you know, you don't think you can do anything. You don't know what you can do. Do something like that. Something like that. It just breaks my heart because they're not gonna say anything to anybody. They're not gonna say anything to anybody. You know, they're not going to. But boy, they just don't eat. They don't. I mean, they eat, but they eat what they can make and what's easy for them to make. Okay. Can't be healthy. Can't be healthy at all. Can't be healthy. Their houses, they can't clean their houses anymore. Do you understand? I mean, they can't get down there. My little Joni, you know, she'd call me every 6 months. Could you change my filter for me? Could you change my air filter for me? And it was down in this place, and every 6 months I went over and changed her filter. How many can't get to their filter? How many can't clean their windows? You know, how many can't clean their toilets? How many can't clean, period? A lot. A lot. I mean, how many, look at my poor arthritis finger going right here, you know? And I still crack, I mean, my arthritis finger. Could you imagine what, you know, the elderly, when all their hands are like that and they can't use them? But they can't get down there, you know. They're not agile enough to do what they need to do. I'm talking about, you know, and not only, it could be a married couple, you know. It could be a married couple. It doesn't matter. But, I mean, don't be wrong. Some are just fit, go. I'm not talking, you know. I'm talking about the other ones. The other ones that can't. You know, the other ones that don't drive. They don't have any family. They don't have anybody. You know, everybody they know's died or gone or disowned. I don't know what it is, but they're gone. They don't have anybody. Get that? So sad. I had a little lady, lives catty corner for my daughter. Of course, when I moved here, I see her sitting outside in a little plastic chair. And she just watched the cars go by. Just watch the cars go by. Me and my beau went over there and introduced ourselves. And I gave her my phone number and I said, if you ever, I know you don't know me, but I'm right there and I live with my daughter. And I know you don't know me, but if you ever need anything, call me and I'll take you, you know. Her husband died and she was 90. 93 or 94 years old. Lived in that house by herself. Her husband died in 1950s, okay? She had 3 kids. Kids have been gone. They were all in California, okay? So all her family had lived away. She lived here, and all her kids lived in California, grandkids, everything. I think one of her children had already died, but I mean, she was by herself. And the neighbor that lives next door to her, who's been there for like, 30 years or 29 years, she has her and her husband have cut her grass, have done everything, taken her to the grocery store. Now, last summer though, I mean, she died, I guess, on Christmas in December. But the one woman was telling me, she goes, "Oh yeah, I have to take her to the grocery store today. She gave me $2 for gas. $2 for gas." She's like 95. But she consistently did that for her. She didn't have anybody though. Didn't have anybody. So I went in her house and we talked. And her house was neat as a pin, but you could see where it needed cleaned because she just couldn't do it anymore. And you could tell she had kept a nice house. Just saying. Got one of those little ladies, little men, sitting in their chair watching cars go by. Stop and talk to them. Stop and talk to them. Just breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Anyway, I have to go. This will make me cry. This will make me cry. I can't stand it. I can't stand them. I can't stand them being by themselves. So, I gotta go with the dog now. See you soon.